amazing. It's incredible. It is time for the show. Everybody get ready. It's the time for the show. It is the time for the show. It is the time for the show. Adjust your TV set, because it's the time for the show. Turn off the radio, because it's the time for the show.
That was it. Cut. Print.
Hey, watch him! With Dan and Tony! Hey, watch him! With Dan and Tony! It's like watching, yeah!
Welcome to Hate Watching with Dan and his assistant Tony.
Hey, that's me. I assist things.
Yes. Each week we watch a movie separately, then we come together to talk about the movie concurrently and try to assess how this movie was bad.
Great. Honestly, half the reason I show up for the show is just to hear how you introduce it every week, because it's always very different and you never know what you're going to get. And today it was pretty good. This was pretty professional. I'm not going to lie.
That's why I could never be an actor, is because they would be like, do that line just like that, do it again the same. And I'd be like, it's never going to happen.
And we're on take 37 and like, you know what? We probably got it on the first one. Let's move on. Let's move on.
There were some words involved. You got some words. What do you want from me?
What do you want? What do you want from me? So
this week, our good friend Tony, friend of the show.
Friend of the podcast. Yes, sir.
chose a movie. Tony, tell the listeners about what movie you chose.
Well, it's, we're superheroes all over the place. We love them. We want more all the time. And the Spider-Verse is really taken off. I mean, this is the next MCU for sure. And so we had to, Venom was great. Venom 2 was great. And now Morbius is great. So Sinister 6 coming soon.
We're doing Morbius.
Right. Sorry. Yeah.
We're ramping up to the Legion of Monsters, which is, I think it's Morbius, Ghost Rider.
Oh, Ghost Rider.
Werewolf by Night, and Man Thing.
Oh, R.L. Stine did a little Man Thing book, and it was actually quite delightful.
I love Man Thing, one of my favorite childhood characters.
Yeah.
Because when I grew up, I was born in 1960.
Let's set the stage. This was 1473, and the American West had yet to be settled. All right, I'm sorry. Continue with your story.
So old. I'm doing a bit about Dad being old. He's the guy that nailed Jesus on the cross.
Whoa. Notoriety.
Yes. So when I was a kid was when Marvel really leaned into horror.
Which must have been a wonderful time, by the way.
One of my first comics was Morbius's first, solo appearance in a comic.
Beautiful.
Adventures in Fear number 20, which was just Man Thing's title, and then Man Thing got his own title, and they threw out Morbius. And I read Werewolf by Night, and I read Ghost Rider. I mean, I read all these horror comics, and I loved them. Even though they weren't horror comics, they're sort of horror-related.
Horror adjacent.
Yes. There wasn't a lot of horror in them.
Sure, but they were themes.
Just like in Morbius, completely devoid of horror.
No, not even one little bit.
They don't even think about the concept of horror in their vampire movie.
No. Is it a vampire movie? I don't know.
I don't know what this movie is. I really... Yeah. I started to think about it, and is this the thinnest movie we've ever done?
If it's not, it's definitely close. We've done a lot of movies. It's hard to keep track, but this would just float right away, just like Morbius right off the roof.
Whatchamacallit? Catwoman.
Right.
More substantial movie.
That's not great. That's about as low bars get.
I'm going to say this right here. Catwoman final villain battle, maybe a better battle.
Oh God. Oh God. I mean,
Catwoman's final battle is one of the worst things they've ever done in movies.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. pretty bad. This is not good though. It's weak. Here's my whole thing about this movie is that it was never so bad that it angered me.
Sure.
There's just not enough anywhere to make a movie. This is nothing. This is the most nothing I've ever seen in my life. And I was just sitting there and I was just like, huh, this is weird. I don't know how this got made.
You know, like we're sort of 2/3 of the way through the movie, and the scriptwriter's like, "Oh yeah, this is the love story part," and you're like,
I was like, "Oh, okay, cool. I'm glad you told me because I would have missed it."
you know. Then we're like, and we're gonna do like the Jared Harris piece part now. We're like, "Oh yeah, we saw him an hour ago."
Right, and I mean, this is it's quite a trip, and like the twists that they put in it. I'm putting quotes around twists, because they're not twists at all. But I feel like they thought they were going to be twists, but they also didn't spend any time like treating them like twists. They're just kind of like, and now he's walking. Good, here we go. Let's do it. This is a weird one.
It's a weird one.
The only time I got angry were the post-credit scenes, and we will talk about that in about 80 minutes.
Were there more than one post-credit scenes? I might have only seen
two,
one.
but they are both the same. Essentially,
I saw the vulture. I saw the vulture one.
Well, there's 2 vulture ones. So did you? That's dude.
There's
I'm
2
telling
vulture
you.
ones.
You know what?
I watched the Hold on, let me just say my quick piece. I saw the vulture one, and I was like, that's weird. And then so I was like, there can't be something after that. If you know, it's like as inconsequential as the first vulture one. I can't imagine what the second vulture one is.
Yeah, man.
Okay, we'll talk about that.
This fucking okay.
But right before we started, we were trying to figure out the budget on this, which was
$75 million reported.
So I tried to type Morbius in, and I typed in Mobius, but it still gave me Morbius questions. And the second one is actually no, it wrote, "Is Mobius also a Loki?"
Oh, okay. And what's the answer?
Oh, I didn't click on that.
Oh, Dan,
So we'll never
can't
know.
set up such a great question. You pose one of the great wonders of the world, and then you just drop the ball.
Before we start on the dissecting the plot,
which will take 30 to 45 seconds.
I always thought that Jared Leto was like a pretty good actor.
He would tell you that he's a great actor. I think that's the thing. I think we've all just fallen under his
spell. His mind control, his mind control worked.
He just, if someone tells you enough times that they're good at something, you just believe them. And then eventually you're like, wait, hold on a second. Maybe you're not that good at it. I don't know.
Did he ever star in anything else? Like star, like, Jared Leto in.
Yeah, for sure, right?
I mean, the only other movie I could think of is the Blade Runner movie, and he was good in that. I thought he was good.
Sure,
but he didn't really do anything.
Well, that's the key, because he used to be very pretty. I think that he's kind of lost that. I don't know. I'm sure people still think he's pretty, but I remember Urban Legends from like the 90s. That was like the time where everyone was like, oh, he's so sexy and mysterious. I remember that Jared Leto, and not this weird guy.
Yeah, and I mean, it's like, I know him from My So-Called Life.
Oh, great. Yes, great. Dude. Yeah.
Great show, great character. And then, I saw him doing stuff, but I never really paid any attention. And then I saw
30 Seconds to Mars. The band,
his band, he's a big band guy.
Oof,
but
big band. Okay.
I mean, I expected him to come in this movie and like do some acting, and it never really happened.
No, but he's got pretty eyes, so
yeah, nice long greasy hair.
Yeah, it's greasy. I don't like it at all, and I'm jealous of all people with hair.
Yeah, as you well should be.
Yeah, well, you're old, Dan.
Yeah, it's true.
You got beautiful hair. You really do. You got great hair.
Beautiful gray hair now.
I would take gray hair in an instant. My dad grayed at like 32, and that son of a bitch. He's still got a beautiful gray fox. It's silver fox? Silver fox. The gray fox. What an idiot.
Tony's got the wisp up top.
For now. I'm losing that quick.
Hour and 44 minutes. We start with the helicopter flying supplies over the Costa Rica rainforest. We come to this cave, looking good. There's Morbius hobbling around, hobbling, and he like sets up this trap.
Is it a trap? Could you tell me how this trap works? Because it looks like just open wires. I don't understand.
It has electrical field bars that are going to be open, and the bats are going to fly in. They're going to be trapped. They can fly in one direction. They can't fly out.
Are you sure? Because the back would still be open then, right? How are they flying in? Because I feel like it's not closing. It's open. So I don't know. I didn't understand how the trap worked, but I'm not a hunter.
This was super dumb.
Okay, good.
So he's there, and we get the best part. He's like hobbling up, and the one guy's like, "You need a doctor?" He's like, "I am a doctor." Now, did you like mouth the line like seconds before he said it?
Yeah, well, I mean,
everyone did.
It's like the most obvious setup in the world. It's good.
And whenever we get to exposition in this movie, which we get to it about 4 or 5 times, which I didn't really note it.
I feel like I missed a couple then. But sure.
A couple of times we have some exposition. Yeah. And you're just like, oh my, and it's some of it's so cliche, and you're like, this movie could so go Rocky Horror on us.
Oh, that would have been more fun.
And that's we got to talk about the memes, the Morbius memes.
Oh God, it is out of control. Everybody, if you don't know, go on Twitter right now. Also, I don't know if this will still be happening by the time this comes out in a couple weeks, but on Twitch there is currently a 24-hour stream just replaying the movie over and over again. So treat yourself. Get in there
because it's Morbin time.
It's Morbin time. Idiots.
Did you watch the little clip of where it's Morbius versus Venom and he says it's Morbin time?
Wait, no.
That's a little. They made a little mashup with him and Venom,
for them.
And it's totally hilarious. And if they don't make Morbius 2 Morbius v Venom, they're idiots. That we need that.
Well,
movie.
They're already idiots because they took this movie way too seriously. Way too seriously. Sweet Jared Leto.
So the vampire bats all fly into this thing, even though we don't see them. He acts all weird, and everybody almost dies.
You could describe that as the whole movie. Jared Leto acting a little weird. So here's my favorite part about this, Dan, is that his like lackeys guys, I don't know, the guys that flew him out there. One guy's like, well, let's not be here when it gets dark, which we're not. So I don't know why he keeps saying that. That never pays off at all, but he says it 4 times. And
Did he really say it 4 times?
I don't know if it was 4, but it was more than once. And if it's more than once, you better fucking pay that off. Otherwise, you're an idiot. But then he's like, hey, just give me my money and then we'll be on our way. And Morbius is like, that's cool. Here's your money. Just kidding. Here come the bats anyhow. Like, I don't understand what's happening.
More importantly, here's your money. You can leave?
Yeah, exactly. How is he going to get out? You're the transport. And he's like, just give me my money and my men will take off. And Morbius is like, that's cool, bro. I don't know, dude.
Then he takes the big knife, which the guy gives him the money, gives him the big knife, and he cuts just this giant cut in his hand. Now, hold on a second. Now, okay, wait a second. We really need to unpack this right this second. I didn't even think about this till now.
Let's do it. Come on, man.
What is his... So Morbius has like a blood disease. What does his blood disease do?
Doesn't make blood? It doesn't coagulate? I don't totally remember.
You got it.
Oh,
I
got it. Okay, yes.
You got it. What does that mean, Tony?
He would bleed forever.
Right? I mean,
maybe not forever, but
no. That's what happens with hemophiliacs is they get cuts and they bleed forever and they die.
Right. Yeah. Oh my God, that's scary.
If you're a hemophiliac or you do not coagulate, is it really a good idea to cut like the world's biggest cut?
And it's not like you could just prick yourself at that point, I feel like, and it would like bleed enough for the vamp, but he's just like, I'm gonna cut off my whole hand. Hold my beer.
How's he alive?
Well, because of the bats. He knew.
What do you mean? But he hasn't made the serum. He hasn't done anything yet. So stupid.
I don't know.
Oh my god.
Well,
So
if it helps, I don't think we said what his disease is
but
yet.
we
I think
find that out
comes
later. Oh,
Well,
'cause-
sure, but you're not supposed to think backwards, Dan. Always look forward. That's the key to life.
So if we don't know that he does, so like since we don't have
That's right.
that information, his character
It's fine.
isn't affected.
Exactly. That's 100% correct. It's not real until you know about it.
True. Okay. So all the bats fly out because it cuts himself. So all the bats smell this and just fly out there and batter the helicopter and do horrible things. And we cut away immediately.
Fine. Yeah, we're like, okay, cool. Next scene. Everyone's fine.
And when we do go back to the scene where he's back in America, we don't even address anything that happened. The only address is that we have this big chamber full of bats.
Oh God.
He never feeds or never deals with or cleans up all their shit.
I mean, they're just there flying in circles their entire life. What is happening? That's terrible. That's animal cruelty. I'll just say it right now.
So we go 25 years earlier. We're in a clinic. I wrote kid playing chess with himself. Was he playing chess with himself?
I think, yeah, because it's supposed to be like sad, right?
Nobody
sad. Has friends or something? I don't know.
But what was the movie we watched last time? Oh, it was the stupid Bicentennial Man, which of course everyone was playing chess. Whenever you want to show somebody smart,
themselves,
have them play chess.
They were playing with people. At least they had friends. Okay. Sheesh.
So the new kid comes in. His name is Lucian.
Are you sure?
Hold on, we're going to talk about this because.
Oh my God, I got so mad.
So then he's like, "You're Milo," and he's like, "My name's not Milo. My name's Lucian." And he's like, "No, you're Milo because you're the new Milo. There was the last Milo who died, and everyone who sleeps next to me is a Milo. You know, meaning I don't care about you. Meaning you're gonna die."
Not that he doesn't care about you, but that he doesn't want to get attached to you. They don't explain this in the movie, but it's one of those things where it's like I don't need to get to know you because you're not going to last long enough, which I thought was interesting until the kid now I'm Milo. That's my name. Nope.
Hold on. Hold on. We can't jump there just yet.
But it's the worst part of the movie.
It's one of the very weird character things that makes absolutely no sense. Then we get explained that they have to get an oil change. How often do they have to get an oil change, Tony?
It was either 3 times a day or every 3 hours. I just remember the number 3.
3 times a day?
3 times a day. How long does that take to just flush all of your blood? Isn't it like an hour or 2? So you're there the whole time.
More importantly, how do you have time to go to Costa Rica and collect bats?
Well, I wouldn't worry about that part of it, Dan.
More importantly,
we don't know that information at the beginning. Keep that in mind.
Right now. At no point in this movie does he ever do this.
No, he does not. No, he's fine. I don't know. He also goes to school and is like, I mean, I don't know enough about this disease, but it seems a little weird.
So then he goes, Morbius is like, or maybe I don't know, somebody's talking to Jared Harris, who's like the big doctor here, and they're talking about Milo. So Jared Harris, who's the doctor, who's in charge, who knows the kid's name is Lucian.
Well, he has to because it's his patient. So
is now referring to him as Milo.
Right, which is so insulting as the doctor. Like, fuck you. I don't understand how this is a thing. I don't get it.
And then through the rest of the movie, he's referred to as Milo until the very, very end where we get a little bit about his name.
And so then So I have questions about this.
Yes.
Am I not supposed to know that it's Lucian? Is that why at the end when he's like, "You're my brother, Lucian," or am I supposed to be like, "Oh shit, that's the kid from the beginning"? Because I don't know it? I don't understand the plot device is what I'm saying.
The setup is we're trying to show that Morbius doesn't want to be attached, I guess, and is a gigantic dick, right?
Well, he's for sure the second one, but he's already attached. He calls him his best friend a bunch. My best friend Milo. Nope, not his name. I don't understand.
And so how's he your best friend if you're and I mean truthfully, when he turns into adult Morbius, he's not a giant dick.
No, he's like helping children and like I'm saving the world or whatever. I don't understand anything.
Shouldn't he be a giant dick through this whole movie? Isn't that the idea?
Well, I mean, I think it wasn't the idea because there are no ideas in this movie.
Oh, sure. I'm expecting things that are said
Right.
about characters and how they
Logic.
act.
Yeah, come on. There's no.
No.
Don't worry about that.
Put that aside.
It's just so confusing to me. And also, so he's like Milo Lucian, somehow super rich, like super rich, right?
We're not there. We're not there.
Hold
yet.
on, we can talk about the money in a minute, but this is still his name. So he's super rich. Does the world call him Milo?
I think
Like
so.
if someone's paying him a check, do they make it out to Milo? I don't understand. I don't get it, Dan.
Okay. So he he sends Morbius to New York City because you're smart.
Hold on, don't skate over this. This scene's
Wait.
pivotal to the movie.
Oh, really?
Let's break it down, okay?
Break it down, Tony.
Milo Lucian his machine stops working. Oh no, he's
Oh
dying.
yeah,
he's dying.
I
Okay,
forgot about
alarms are going off. Kid is dying. No nurses come. Nobody comes to check on him. They're just like, oh, there goes another one. I'm going to finish my snack at my coffee break here. Nobody comes to save this kid, which is ridiculous.
No, Tony, I'm gonna go current affairs.
Oh, okay.
It's not ridiculous because cops stood outside the room for an hour.
I mean, let's not talk about that. But I mean, you're right about that. But
don't think that's the point they were making.
I don't think it is either. And there are only 5 kids that I saw in the hospital, like 5 beds. It's not like they're overrun with these kids. There's very few kids. They could have checked on them. All I'm saying.
Super expensive equipment too. Not
right. But anyhow, moving on from the fact that nobody cared, this kid just died. Then Morbius takes apart a pen, takes out a spring, and fixes this machine. Okay, great, cool. He's like a MacGyver kid. Love it.
Yeah.
Now he's a biologist. How does the thing that you set up pay off later as him as a biologist? I don't understand that. So the doctor's like, hey, you're super smart. You should go to smart kid school. And then he just changes what he's smart in. I didn't like it. I didn't like that at all.
So he leaves the kid. He leaves him a letter, which is like, now we're super best friends or something. I don't even remember.
Listen, Milo. Okay.
The kid's trying to read the letter. The letter flies out the window and
oh my God.
turns into tissue paper as opposed to a piece of paper. Then he runs down there and the kids are like, don't let it now. We kick you to death.
Classic kids.
I hate bullying. I think it is any writer that writes bullying into a script should be bullied. Like other writers should come and kick the shit out of him so that it stops. It's just the laziest. There's the 2 Dan Goodsell corollaries. Stupid bullying, just to be like dickish, just to like torment a character. Like this kid's got a blood disease, gonna die anyways. No, we're gonna kick him to death to just make a point about how shitty the world is.
Well, they do that a couple of times in this movie. But they also do the whole, let's beat a woman, that way it's okay that they die. They do that several times. So it's just lazy writing. It's just very lazy. They're like, how can we communicate these feelings without doing any work? And that's the answer. So
he becomes a blood disease doctor. We get some lines where he saved more lives than penicillin. Impossible. I didn't look up the numbers, but this fucktard.
So you have no basis of fact, Dan, okay?
Penicillin has saved. The thing about it is, what is his blood thing had like 1 year, 2 years. Penicillin's been around for like 50 years.
Dan, I'm going to say it right now. Penicillin, overrated, okay? I said it right here.
Tony's like, fuck penicillin. It can.
Whoa.
So he's there. And what is he there to do, Tony?
Which one is there? Where are we?
He's in Sweden.
He's getting the Nobel Prize.
In this one scene, they call it the Nobel Prize.
Yep.
And in the next scene, they call it the Nobel Prize.
I know. I don't. In full disclosure, they said both, and I was like, well, both could be right. I feel like I don't know.
No, they're not both
It's
right.
it's got to be it's Nobel, right? That's how I've always heard it.
Of
Okay.
course, that's how you.
Okay, just making
And
sure
you're just like, why did they say Nobel Prize? What
to
Loop
make
it
me
in there.
question my sanity. That's what it is.
There's this thing called ADR. I don't know what that stands for, but Tony probably knows what it stands for. Automatic detrimental reading.
That's not it at all. No.
Adderall, Demerol,
Yep.
Retarderol. I don't know what it means.
You're very close on the second one there. Oh my
What does it mean?
I have no audio, digital recording. I don't know.
You
something
don't even
stupid.
know. You're making fun of me. You're in this stupid business.
I have done ADR dozens of times. No idea what it stands for.
And they could just have Tony come in there. He'd just be like, Nobel. Put it in there.
Yeah, you know what? Can we rewind that again? Let's try that again. Try to match the lips, please. That's what they say all the time. Match your lips.
Okay, so
speaking of ADR, you missed it. That explains everything. The second clip at the end with Vulture, completely done in ADR. Michael Keaton not anywhere near the soundstage at this point, and it's fucking amazing. You have to go watch it.
I will go
good.
watch it.
It's
I mean,
incredible.
I kind of scanned over the thing, and it didn't seem like there was another scene. That's why.
Well, it's very quick. It's very, very quick. All right.
Yeah. So he's back in New York City at the hospital doing his origami. There's like this lady doctor, Martine. I think her name is Martine.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And he can't tie his shoes. He's walking down the street, no shoes tied. Gotta tie your shoes.
It's even if like you're having, especially if you're having a hard time walking though, because then you're not stepping. It just feels dangerous. Someone should tie them for you if you can't do it.
I've been hypocritical. I do walk down the street with my shoes untied, and my wife gets very mad at me.
Have you fallen? You're very lucky.
I'm falling.
It's coming, Dan. It's coming.
So he rejected the Nobel Prize.
The Nobel.
Why did he reject
the Nobel Prize?
Why did he reject the Nobel Prize?
Something about it being a failure. He's like, I can't accept it because I failed, but I saved more lives than penicillin, which is a lot we've just established.
Okay, Tony.
I don't get it.
I'm going to ask you a question.
Okay, yeah, I want to hear it.
When you're refusing a prize, do you fly?
Not the first time.
Do you fly to Sweden?
No, I
get dressed up, sit on the stage, and then go to the microphone and reject the prize.
At best, I will do a Zoom call for that. I'll Zoom be like, sorry, I'm not doing it. That's why, if you didn't understand why I didn't show up, that's why. Or I'll just send a letter. No thanks. I'm not coming out. It's almost more rude to do it to their face at the ceremony. It's not like this is the first time he's been told he's getting it, right? That's not how the Nobel works. It's not like winning an Oscar where there's like 5 contenders. I honestly don't know.
They have a bunch of categories, and every year some people win. It's like biochemistry. People don't win every year, but you could have a person win every year. You could give biochemistry this year and next year and the next year, or you could not give biochemistry for 10 years or 100, whatever.
But they know before the ceremony?
Oh,
that's
absolutely.
the question.
Yeah,
well,
absolutely.
then I don't know why he showed up. It's stupid.
Super weird. And it's like, is he being a dick? Is this a dick move?
He's got to be being a dick because if he wasn't planning on accepting the award, someone else should have gotten the award. It's not like...
No, it's not the way it works.
Are you sure?
There's not a second place. No.
I feel like there's a second place in my heart. So...
And do you know why there is a Nobel Prize? You know what Nobel did to make all his money to make the prize?
I would assume something terrible. That sounds like humanity.
Invented dynamite.
Oh, good. What?
Dynamite fortune. Made a fortune on dynamite. Yeah.
So
He's the dynamite guy.
Why?
Dynamite, not that
dynamite. I don't understand.
Yeah.
Why then he gets, because isn't it the Nobel Peace Prize? Isn't that what it's called?
No, he's Nobel. He invented dynamite, made all the dynamite money, and is like, shit, I got to do something cool with the world.
I got to turn this around.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Redemption story. I can dig it.
Okay, can't tie his shoes, so he's mixing bat and human DNA. He could lose his license. He does it. He gives it to a rat. The rat dies. And then the rat comes back to life.
You're missing some very important stuff here, Dan. Okay. This is where Martine apparently discovers his secret lab.
What?
Yeah. She doesn't know for sure what he's doing.
Oh,
Did you
really?
not realize this?
Oh, I
Hold
missed
on.
all that. I missed all that.
Dan, hold on. Pump
What?
the brakes. So she's following him down to the lab, right?
I thought
And
she was
she's-
just going down there with him. No?
Sure, but this seems to be the first time she's understanding what he's really doing. She suspects, it seems, because she's like, "You're mixing hybrid DNA," but then she's like, and she finds the tube. He's like, "Hey, I wouldn't go over there if I were you. 3 feet to the west." And then she's, "Oh no, you found my secret laboratory," which is fucking
Don't go over there.
insane.
Don't go over to the secret zone. Oh, I got a secret zone.
No doors. It's in the middle of a laboratory and it's just a giant tube. And she's like, "See, I found it." And he's like, "Oh boy, now you're a part of this."
Oh.
She did not know, dude. I'm telling you right now.
I mean, I just thought that he's
know.
been. I mean, but was it really a secret? I mean, he didn't
Obviously not a good one. It's
Eh.
it's in the middle of his lab.
So then there's this other little girl that he's trying to save, which I don't know what that little.
Well,
girl.
I mean, the good news is we don't deal with that. There's no conclusion to that story.
No.
She's just still in the hospital bed, so not great news. I'm so sorry.
He should have made like one thing to cure it, and then he cures her instead of himself, and then he goes back to Morbin time. I don't know.
Morbin time.
Okay, so now we get introduced to Matt Smith, who is Milo/Lucian. They are in like bathrobes and crutches, and they're going down the New York City street. That's what they're doing.
Yeah. Well,
to talk.
Have we seen the doctor again yet?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Because I just wrote
confused.
Matt Smith shamble on the street.
Shamble on the street. Okay.
And the other thing that's super interesting is everybody on the street moving the same direction as them.
Yeah. Now, is that a thing? Are there like directional sidewalks, you think? It would actually make a lot of sense if there were.
But literally in this scene, no one is going the opposite direction. Typically, you film people go, but for some reason, they're just like, we're going to have this mass of people.
Dude, I'm telling you, maybe this movie's ahead of its time, and we're going to go to like single, like car traffic. You know what I'm saying?
And then they're having picnic in the park.
Right. Yep.
And he's like, I've got a cure, it's coming. And they're like, but does he butt them? I didn't remember him butting him. Does he butt him?
Well, this is just where he's like, it's very expensive and illegal.
Yeah, whatever. And then
I guess maybe that's not a big deal for scientists. Maybe they do that a lot. I don't know. It seems like a big deal.
And maybe we did do maybe we saw Jared Harris replacing his blood. Maybe we did.
I feel like we did.
Yeah.
But, so let's just talk about it real quick because I don't understand his life trajectory. He seemed like he was doing pretty good. He's like the head of this clinic of some sort.
Yeah.
And now he's just this guy's nurse. I don't understand, Dan.
Manservant nurse to this dude who's super wealthy. I don't know.
I don't know how he got wealthy either because he certainly didn't start wealthy. Like
super
nobody seemed to like him. I don't understand anything in this movie.
See, he should have like the bodyguard come down and protect him and beat the shit out of those kids. I'd have liked that movie.
That would have been great.
You can bully someone if the bullies then literally like get kicked to the curb for like a half an hour. Yeah. I would watch that movie.
Yeah.
So he needs to do this. He's been doing these illegal experiments, right? Like wherever he is, the Secret Institute. But this time he needs to do it in international waters 6 miles off the coast.
Well, because I think it must be the difference between animal cruelty, trials, and then human trials, right? Because isn't he then going to do it to himself at that point? That's the plan?
Well, how are they going to even know? right? Like, what
have
what is
no
he doing
idea.
differently on the boat that he couldn't just do in his stupid lab? And more importantly, why did he just do it in his lab, carry it out there, then eject himself on the boat?
Yeah, I mean, these are all great questions. You'll have to ask the writers. Okay, they had a plan and they executed it.
Oh, the stupid woman. He takes the stupid woman with him.
Yeah, that seems a little weird to me.
Seems really
Especially
stupid.
because, like, they're in international waters surrounded by men with guns. Why do we need that? Who are those men there to protect them from?
They're mercenaries. They're mercenaries.
No, I mean, I know who they are, but why are they there? Why do you need high security? No one knows you're doing it. That's the point of this.
They're
right?
not security. They're not security. They're mercenaries. It's very different. And
I-
they make them, you expect Batroc to show up and start kicking people.
Sure.
Because there's like if they said we need this special Hydra lab. Hydra provides us with this lab. And you're like we're telling the bad guys, none of it makes any sense.
Yeah. Look, I don't...
So they're on the boat. The guys on the boats have guns. And the boat guy bugs her. Where's Michael?
This is where he's like, hey, you're the help just like me. Which is so weird to say because, no, bro, she's a doc. She's one of the two people doing this science experiment that you're there to watch. Like, I don't understand.
So did the mercenary guy start perving on her? Is that what happened?
Uh-oh.
Tony's frozen.
Oh, there you are. I hear you again.
Oh, so does the mercenary guy start perving on the lady doctor?
Yeah, big time. Big time.
Oh.
And that's why it's cool that he gets his head ripped off because now he's like, sexually assaulting this woman.
Yeah, so he's perving on her, he's sexually assaulting her, and then Morbius turns into Morbius vampire, and then he just basically kills everybody on the boat, except her.
But
her.
It's cool because they're bad guys. Don't worry.
And then we see him, he does a Mayday signal. Mayday, Mayday, we're 6 miles off the coast. Mayday, Mayday. So I'm assuming he killed the captain too?
Oh, yeah, he killed everybody except for his lady friend. Everybody's dead.
What did the captain do?
He moved the boat. So, you can't move the boat. He probably rocked the boat while he's doing some experiment. He's like, fuck this guy. He's number one on my list. So
we have this great scene where there's the boat, and then we see him jump overboard.
Yeah, now, so are bats good swimmers? Is that what I'm supposed to understand here? Because he's miles off the coast. He just said it.
6 miles.
And he's cool.
He knows he can just swim right in.
Like,
6 miles.
What are you talking about?
For 6 miles.
This doesn't make any sense.
Wouldn't you just wait on the boat?
Why would you not wait on the boat? I don't know.
Got places to be. So here come the two investigators. Why are these two investigators in this movie?
I don't know. Especially Tyrese. Tyrese, what are you doing?
It is Tyrese. He looks terrible.
It's Tyrese. Yeah, I don't know what he's doing. Get back to the Fast franchise, brother. Like, come on, man. He does nothing in this movie except for at one point I thought he had superpowers, and then it turns out that he didn't. But we'll talk about that in a minute. And then the other guy's there just to make inappropriate, weird jokes. So just like your classic detectives,
I hope he gets to buy a
completely ineffective and one just making bad jokes about dead people.
I hope he can buy a condo with that money. The other guy. I hope he got condo money doing this.
Oh, dude, it's Morbius. It's $75 million. He got at least $100.
So Morbius goes and visits Martina in the hospital, and we begin to understand he sort of loves her.
I guess. Or he just is like, we've worked together for many years, and now you're hurt, so I feel bad. But love.
So he goes back to his lab, and then he starts breaking down. His legs start going. You get some bone breaking, and that would have been super interesting. If
I liked the idea. I thought it was cool, and I was like, let's explore this, and we don't really.
And he needs blood, and so he crawls in there, and he drinks synthetic blood, which is clear, even though there's real blood right next to it. And we never understand why sometimes he's drinking the synthetic blood, and we don't even know that's synthetic blood really for a couple of scenes. It's very confusing. You said, well.
Well, I lost you. I lost you a little bit again.
Okay, so he crawls into the thing, and then there's the clear blood and the real blood.
Right.
And for whatever reason, he drinks the clear synthetic blood, which I think is what it is, as opposed to the real blood.
Well, because it's morally better. Because it's not real blood, right? Isn't that the whole thing? It's like True Blood. It's literally True Blood. It's the story of True Blood. As opposed to human blood, the good vampires drink True Blood so they don't kill people.
But I mean, can't he just drink the real blood and be fine?
He can't, but he doesn't know that yet, Dan. But eventually he finds out that if he drinks the red blood, he gets like supercharged. And that's when he gets like crazy. Because once you have the red stuff, you want more red stuff.
Oh, so it's just like True Blood. Whatever.
Yeah. Whatever. I don't care anymore.
So he says, I've become something different, brother to the bats. He needs to control the power.
I think my favorite scene is when he gets in the cage and he's like, they would tear anyone else apart, but me, they treat me like a brother. And I was like, no, dude, they just smell your blood. And they're like, well, he's not delicious. He doesn't smell like human blood. We don't want to eat it. That's all it is. They're animals, guy.
Now he like learns to echolocate, and he's like, his echolocation. Yeah. Like he could do the entire city of New York. Just like
man.
He can hear anyone talking on any street corner anywhere automatically, just the little hairs in his ears. Him
and Superman, very similar powers. Just for the record.
Then he figures out that he's stable for 6 hours, but it's growing shorter. Even though it hasn't grown shorter, he immediately knows it's growing shorter, even though he hasn't done any kind of...
You're forgetting, this is the guy that fixed a blood machine with a spring. So he gets stuff, Dan. He gets it.
And then he goes, I must drink the red or die.
Yeah, because eventually the blue will stop,
Clear.
Whatever.
So then
some color.
Milo comes to visit, and he's all like, oh, it's not working. He's like, give me the cure. And we immediately know, because we shoot over to the 2 vials, and we're like, oh, Milo just went over and took one of those and knows how to inject it into himself. And
yeah, he knows everything. He's also a brilliant scientist. You must have missed that part in the setup, but both brilliant scientists.
So then the agents go and visit Martine. I don't remember. Okay, whatever. Then we have the weirdest scene in the movie: the creepy hospital nurse gets killed scene.
Oh, sure. This was their attempt at horror, Dan.
Yes, this is their attempt at horror, where every 5 feet you walk, a new light comes on, and the old light goes off.
Yeah, they are the fastest motion sensor lights on the planet. You got to save electricity where you can, Dan. So you only need light exactly where you are. You don't need it before or after.
And as we all know, hospitals are really worried. They need to keep hospitals as dark as possible, as often as possible.
Yeah, you guys don't know this if you've never spent a night overnight in a hospital, but it is pitch black all the time. So very scary stuff.
Yes. Because they don't need to minister to the needs of anyone. They just keep it dark. The nurses,
they shut off the equipment.
UV goggles, walking around, checking out night vision goggles to check out, make sure you're doing okay.
They cycle the equipment that's keeping people alive. Every hour they shut off a new machine. Just hope you make it through the night.
Oh my God,
it's ridiculous.
It's a crazy hospital. Then he wakes up with the sick girl. I don't know what that means.
Well, because Morbius wakes up next to
the sick
Martine,
girl.
And then he goes out in the hallway and he's like, "What's going on?" And they're like, "Oh, the lady died."
And I wrote, "This is worse than a Dark Universe movie."
It feels a lot like a Dark Universe movie, though, to be fair, but it is worse. Yeah, it would be the worst one. Have you seen Dracula Untold?
No, I haven't seen it.
We should probably do that at some point.
Have you seen it?
Oh, yeah, I saw it opening weekend, baby.
Oh, yeah, you told us that.
Hell yeah.
So he gets ambushed by the cops in the lobby, and then he just does crazy shit. Just like jumps around and does things. He jumps through these things up to the roof in like 2 seconds. Like
So
goes
fast.
like 25 floors.
Yeah.
And then Tyrese is like, I got to get to the roof. Scene cut, Tyrese on the roof pointing a gun at him.
This is when I thought he had superpowers. Because
thought he was like the new Flash?
For sure he was something, because Dan, this guy shot up the stairs in seconds. He turns to his partner, he's like, meet me on the roof. And then he's on the roof?
Wait, did he turn to his partner and say, meet me on the roof?
He turned to someone and was like, meet me on the roof. And then he went upstairs by himself.
Why would he say, meet me on the roof?
I think he wanted backup.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no.
Are you gone again?
Yeah, I was gone again. I'm back.
Oh.
I was saying I think he wanted backup.
Oh, okay. So he's on the roof like instantaneously, like he teleported. Yeah. Maybe he's Nightcrawler.
I don't know, but they never deal with it. I thought for sure he had superpowers, because he was up there before Jared could leave the roof, and he was running in his fast, like weird silhouette run. So he was going super speed. And then Tyrese is somehow there before he even jumps off the roof to the next roof. He's got superpowers, bro.
So, so he gets attacked by the wind on the roof. The wind attacks him.
Now, so full disclosure, until he did this again later, I thought Tyrese was using some sort of
wind power. Like Tyrese is using his wind power.
Yeah.
He teleports and wind power.
Well,
nice.
I thought maybe he used the wind to shoot up, like whoosh, and then went to the roof and then was throwing the wind. I don't know, but turns out none of that's right, and it was just because he now has hollow bones. Is that what it was?
My memory of the Morbius in the comics is that he had little, they put little rubber wings here.
For sure.
Then he would sort of catch some air and not so much be able to fly as to do some floating.
Glide. Yeah, like a glide, yeah.
And so they kind of imply that in this, but then at a certain point, he can just Superman it wherever he wants to go.
He just flew through the city here. So I don't know what's going on.
So they catch him, and I guess he gives up to having a gun pointed at him.
Well, sure, because
guns.
Yeah. Hashtag guns are scary.
And then they have him locked up, and then they're interrogating him.
Yeah. Here's okay. And here I got to talk a second about the detective number 2, the quippy guy. He jumps on the vampire train immediately. I have never in my entire life seen a vampire movie where the people investigating the deaths are immediately like, oh, well, it was a vampire.
Classic vampire.
Without hesitation, this guy goes full in on the vampire. Of course he's right, but it's ridiculous. No good detective's first move is like, well, shit, we got a real life vampire on our hands, guys. And it's just totally pretty much cool with it.
Well, more importantly, he has that belief and nobody questions him.
Right. No one's like, hey, maybe take a day off because you're slipping.
Vampires, these things of mystery and history and not real.
Never heard. No, there's never been one in existence, but good point. Let's write it down.
Well, more importantly, we don't really talk about it. And we don't establish that this world has vampires, that this world has supernatural. There's like a lot of things you kind of have to deal with when you start throwing out the idea. If like you said to me, Dan, I've got a vampire living in my building, I'd be like, Tony, stop smoking all that crack.
Right.
You do not have a vampire living in your building.
That is not a thing, and you need help.
And then through the course of the movie, we find out Tony does have a vampire living there, and then Tony and I have to, put on the stakes, and then through comedic
this
action
is a movie
and inaction.
We're gonna write, by the way. This is good.
Yeah, and that the second act of the movie is you convincing me there is a vampire.
There is a very strict structure for vampire movies, and it's not, oh, it's a vampire. I called it first. I know exactly what this is. No.
He like, oh, call it the Vampire Tactical Squad. Click the button and like all these guys run in with the stakes ready to rock.
Baby.
Yeah. It's like if vampires, and that's the other thing is we never really talk about, this guy's a metahuman, right? They know he's a metahuman. Yeah, he just jumped up a building. And 100%. They've got him in like, oh, they're in charge of him?
Right, yep.
And he's in little tiny handcuffs. right?
Yep. Yep.
It's like when you
Doesn't
bring
make
the
any sense.
Hulk in, you don't say like, "We got him."
Yeah. Yep. Doesn't make any sense.
So Matt Smith comes as his lawyer, which Tony, if you know somebody in jail, can you just walk over there and say, "I'm his lawyer. I'm wearing my Bill and Ted's T-shirt. Let me in."
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Yeah,
If
that's how it
I
works.
say that I'm a lawyer, they can't. I believe the rule is you cannot question it. I think that's the law. You can't ask certain questions. One of them is like, "Are you really a lawyer?" Can't ask it. Once I tell you I'm a lawyer, I'm a lawyer. End of story.
So Matt Smith has a cane, so he's like, "Oh, I'm so
Yeah.
injured, cane," and he also, more importantly, is able to sneak in a big packet of blood.
Right. So he doesn't get searched at all. They let him into a prison cell. They're not even in like the visitors area. Last I checked, most prisons have a visitors area that you're allowed to like talk through glass or even like a communal place, maybe, but not just in their cell, right?
Yeah, maybe there could have been the visitors thing, and then he could have like pulled out like a secret pen and like squirted some
Great.
blood through there, and he'd have been like, So Matt Smith like leaves, and and we see him do like the Kaiser Soze, where he's like hobbling and then he's unhobbling.
Thank you for pointing that out, because this is 100%. They thought that they were making the usual suspects here, because he walks for about 4 minutes. As if it takes that long for anyone to understand what's going on. He just keeps walking and keeps walking.
And the Kaiser Soze thing, such a, as classic a moment as you'll ever have in movies,
100%.
When you lift something like that and you don't add anything, or you don't like make a joke, or you don't do
embarrass
something,
yourself. That's what happens.
I will steal this bit. No one has ever seen this bit before.
Right? Like, no, guys. It's
who's on first? So, okay, so he just escapes. He just blasts through the window, and did he drink the blood?
Yeah, he drank the blood. Yeah. He got fired up.
So he drank the blood, fired up, shoots through the window, then jumps around, and they're like all
Jump
trying
around.
to shoot
Jump
him.
Around. Jump up again.
And then he he uses super hearing, and then just immediately finds him with super hearing, and then
he's got bat sonar, citywide bat sonar.
And then they sort of yell at each other, and then they have a big fight, which ends up in the subway. And
was it a big fight? Or just
an immediate fight. And then I'm going to say, Matt Smith, actor. He was great.
Yeah. So the after he kills the cops, and he does this fun little like dance number, and it's like, this guy's having a good time making this movie, and nobody else is. He's the only person that was like, "Well, we're making a movie. Let's have some fun, guys. Like, let's do some shit." And you gotta love him. Good for him.
He's great. He's just wonderful. He wears all these great suits in the movie.
Oh yeah, beautiful.
And once he's free of being like the stupid Lucian character and becomes Milo the vampire, like, we love him. We want him to win. We're like Morbius.
I do want him to win the whole time. I'm never rooting for Jared Leto. Poor Jared.
Jared Leto, you're like, go home. Go to Costa Rica.
Go cry in your bed.
Go move in with your bats and be Bat Boy. You're sad.
I am Bat Boy.
Okay, we're going to take like a little break here, and we're going to talk about...
I'm so excited.
The powers.
Oh, okay. His bat powers?
This thing should be entirely predicated on blood, and not if he gets angry, he turns into Morbius.
Just like bats. When bats get angry, they get battier.
Fangy. The fangs go.
They drop down.
Fang.
Yeah.
It's just so stupid, because it's like, have it become the thing, and then it's like the Hulk. Sometimes they do. It's like, he's Banner, and then sometimes I try to become Hulk. Oh, he's back to the Hulk.
Yeah, which was sense. That's fun. By the way.
But this thing is like blood. He has the blood. He goes, and boom, he's in.
When he smells or tastes blood, that's pretty much the only time he should be Morbin out. I don't know. But that's not even the power. I thought we were going to talk more about the powers. Let's talk about his bat powers, Dan, because I don't know a lot of bats that are like are bats super strong? Are they ants?
No.
Can they lift 20x times their body weight or some shit?
Well, I mean, this guy's a Spider-Man villain, right? And so he has to be strong. He has to be resilient. You have to
don't you think that maybe they should mix other blood than just bats in there then? Because these aren't bat powers. I'm just saying.
They should have just like thrown in some radiation or something too. He's
great,
like,
yeah,
radiated the blood. You know,
give me something because I've never seen a bat do any of these things.
Shannon's leaving to go get our food.
Oh, what are you getting?
Sweet green.
What? I don't know what that is. What's sweet green?
They're like healthy-ish salads.
Okay, we got to move on because that sounds terrible. They are not sponsors of this podcast.
Okay, so then he jumps in front of the subway, and then the wind of the subway makes it so he learns how he could fly. Now, I like the flight. I liked how they sort of did it. Visually, they do this weird thing where all this shit sort of streams off of the characters when they're vamping.
Yeah, he's got like tails. I don't even know. What do you call it? I don't know. But I don't get it. I don't hate it. I just don't need it.
It doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
It's just
I think they think it's like, oh, this looks really cool. And it doesn't look really cool. It just looks like a thing you did.
They must have done it, and they've been like, what's exciting about this? And they're like, well, nothing. It's just like, it's Jared Leto, like,
right, just kind of moving, wiggling around.
Yeah. Here comes Jared Leto. And so they're like, okay, we'll do this cool effect where they trail a bunch of shit, and then it's sort of, it's like they're leaking paint.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, that's a good way to do it. Have you ever played the game Splatoon? Great game. Lots of paint in that game.
So
I have a question real quickly because I don't understand physics or flight or, bats. Would you fly in front of the train? Because, I don't understand how the wind is in front of the train. Because the train is propelling itself, right?
Yeah. Displacing air.
Right.
Air displaces around the train.
It doesn't push it forward. Maybe I don't know.
You'd really want to fly behind the train.
Well, that's what I thought.
Then you'd be in like trails. A slipstream. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's cool. I don't understand things. It's fine. Maybe it works. I don't think it does, but it's cool.
The same wind that was blowing him off the top of the building for no reason.
Well, no, that was Tyrese Gibson's superpowers. So no.
So he meets Martine on a bus. Somehow he knows where she is because he has the ability to do everything, and tells her he's got to stop Milo. He needs your help. Then he steals blood from an EMT. Then he follows these drug guys, and then they have like this drug lab, and then he beats them up.
Well, hold on. You're moving through a lot of stuff.
Turns a printer into medical equipment.
Yeah, okay. So first of all, you did a lot of steps in one. Let's go all the way back to the beginning real quick.
We're going to go to the bus?
Yeah, on the bus, because he went from Milo's my best friend to, I have to kill Milo so fast.
No regret, no remorse.
None whatsoever. He was like, immediately, he's like, I'm not going to try to save him. I have to kill him. Like, I'm going to save myself, but not him. I'm going to kill him. It was weird to me that they're like, well, we're best friends. We're brothers. Oh, I'm going to kill you, by the way.
New Spider-Man movie, we're going to spend 2.5 hours in a lab making cures for people that don't need cures.
You fucking better, because that's what your entire movie was about. If you don't cure every single person from here on out, that whole movie was a waste. I mean, it was a waste. I hate that movie. We'll talk about it again later. Lucky you. It comes back in this movie. Okay, so I found that weird that turn to like kill his brother has no emotional stakes whatsoever. Just garbage. Terrible writing. But let's talk about this criminal lair real quickly, because it's a big building. Where is this building that's just no one has gone in? It's not like they're hiding. It's like if I was the police and I was like, I'm looking for some criminal types, I better check this giant empty building one time. And they're just there. They're just hanging out with a bunch of equipment. It doesn't make any sense, dude.
My favorite part is he immediately, like not even immediately starts taking apart this large printer and get this thing off, this cog off, which he puts on this other thing, which he's then going to start separating blood, using as like a. Oh my god! It was like,
at least
so
listen.
Weird.
They set that up more than they set up him being a super biologist. Because of the spring, he took a pen apart, put a spring. He gets machines.
He gets machines again.
It's
like they're paying that off right here, Tony. You should.
They're paying it off. I don't know how he became a super biologist, but other than that, it all makes sense. This movie is so weird.
Milo gets dressed up. He goes to a bar. Guys annoy him, so he eats them.
Yeah, I mean, I would too. They were being jerks. I don't think that. Listen, guys, I don't think that the guy who started the fight was dating the girl.
Didn't seem like it. Really did not feel like it.
So he was just sticking his nose where it doesn't belong. Get rid of him. I agree, Matt Smith. Take him out. The guy's a monster. Okay. And
more importantly, like those guys were shitty. So cool.
It's cool. Yeah, it's fine. It's weird because a lot of people that they kill in this movie, they make to be bad guys, like not bad. Oh, they're the bad guy, but like just shitty people. And it's kind of like, okay, yeah, I don't really care that you killed them.
It's like, yeah, when the bad guy's killing shitty people, we're like, go for it, bad guy. They deserve it.
Clean up the streets, dude. Thank you.
Go full Punisher on their ass.
Punisher's good.
Okay, so Martine and Milo are at the old lab, and he's like, where's Michael? Which, of course, he has the echolocation. He should instantly be able to find Michael at any second. Right?
I mean, you would think so, but he's just clearly not as good at being a bat as Jared Leto.
Not as good as batting. So then the cops raid Martine's apartment, and they're in there, and the one cop goes into the kitchen, and he sees a cat box. And he's like, a cat box. So he picks up the cat box and he shakes the cat box to attract the cat.
That's not how cats work, guy. They're attracted to the smell of it. They're not attracted to the... It's not like if you shake their food, maybe they would come. But their litter box, they're like, oh, I don't give a shit. I don't have to go to the bathroom right now. I don't understand what's happening.
Were you about to say I'm not a child?
Not a child, okay?
I'm a cat, not a child.
I'm a cat, man. I don't know.
Martine's at the new lab with the cat. I don't know how she got there.
Nobody knows.
And then they're on the rooftop making out, and Milo's watching.
Yeah, thank goodness they went to the rooftop so that he could watch. Otherwise, he never would have known. You know what I mean? He would have been in the dark. Oh,
so Michael does know where. When he says "Where's Michael," he already knows where Michael is. He's just saying that to her
or he followed her when she went to him. It was probably that one. They don't want to show you that. You're thinking too hard about this movie, Dan.
So Milo's watching, and once again, Matt Smith looks cool while he's watching him. He's like, oh, he's creepy.
Because Matt Smith is cool. He's pretty cool.
And now the cops go see the old doctor, and for the first time in like at least an hour, we see Jared Harris again, and we're just like, whoa, we're bringing him back.
Well, and this poor guy's still not doing anything. Like, he doesn't seem to have a life outside of taking care of Matt Smith.
And doesn't have an arc, because in the next scene,
well, that's a given. Yeah.
He confronts Milo, and then we get a bunch of things, and he's like, you always take his side.
Yeah, which we've never seen before.
Never seen that. You always pitied me. Now you're repulsed by me. There's no shame in what we are. And then he just sort of kills him.
All right. I have a couple things to say about that. First of all, yeah, he did pity you. I mean, you're sick, but he's still taking care of you. He doesn't devote his entire life to you out of pity. No. Nobody is that selfless. I'm sorry. That's just not a thing. He developed feelings for you. He loved you. He's taking care of you. He can still pity you a little bit. That's very strange to me. And now he's like, and now what is it? You despise me now or something?
You're repulsed by me.
You're repulsed by me. He's seen you as a vampire for 8 seconds, bro. Give him some time to adjust.
didn't even recoil, didn't
Right.
say a thing, didn't scream and run away from him.
Nope. He's just
Nothing.
like, hey, don't kill people. And he's like, you're repulsed by me. He's like, no, I just don't want you to kill everybody. Maybe let's not do that one. Just ridiculous. Terrible writing all over the place.
So then we're back at the secret lab. And what is Martine doing, Tony?
What's she doing now? I don't know. Feeding the cat?
She's doing vampire research with books.
Oh, right. So then we can do the light joke later. Yeah. Or did we do the light joke already?
I think we do the light joke somewhere around here.
I don't know. The light joke was terrible. I hated it. But yeah, good. In
this day and age, I gotta let the dog out. Hold on 1 second.
Who let the dogs out? Who? I'm gonna keep that part in so that we get a notice to take down our stuff.
Yeah, she was in here with me the whole time, and then she's all at the door, and the door's
what a
little too closed. I have to let her out.
Yep, I hear it.
So she's doing vampire research, but instead, he's like, "Oh, I'll just make a thing that'll kill him."
Right? Yeah. So that's sort of like it's just
30 seconds. He doesn't have to work for this. He doesn't have to get a secret ingredient. He doesn't have to go visit like a weirdo. He just is like cooked it up. This will murder him.
All he probably did was put a bunch of garlic in a blender and then put it in an injector. He knows vampire lore, okay? So stupid. It's stupid.
Then he says to Martine, best you go and hide.
Yeah, where is she gonna hide? Isn't she hidden now? Isn't this your secret base? I don't understand what's happening.
How's she gonna hide when Matt Smith and him can echolocate the entire city and hear anything in the entire city instantaneously at any distance?
It's very, I don't know. Your safest place to be would be where you're hiding now because he hasn't come, as far as you know. I don't know. It's weird.
Then Morbius goes and visits Jared, who's not dead. He's just almost dead. And then Jared, I didn't even write anything down. I don't even know what he said.
Hold on. Luckily, Matt Smith cut him just enough that he would bleed out at the exact moment that Jared Leto finally gets there. Because he calls Jared, right? Doesn't he call him? The doctor calls Jared. It's like, you come over to my house. And then Jared shows up and he's like, dead. Thanks for coming. And that's pretty much it. He doesn't really say anything. He says one thing.
Why did he? He could have called him and told him something important.
Right. It's just so weird that they wrote it that he would bleed out the second that Jared gets there. It's like, oh, I see. Oh, shoot, you're dead. Man, I blew it.
Well, more importantly, that's the whole thing. It's like the literal writer's bullshit excuse to get somebody out of the house. Oh, we'll have him have to go someplace.
Now, picture this, Stan. Morbius has spent the second half, what is it called? The second act of this movie trying to save Matt Smith. That's been his motivation. But now...
No, it's never
I'm
been
saying
his motivation.
imagine.
What
I'm
if
saying
it was?
imagine. Yes, what
imagine
if it
a movie where he's trying to save him.
Imagine a world where he's been trying to save him, but now the father figure has been murdered, and now he's like, I'm going to kill him. And that's the turn that he's like, now I'm going to kill my brother. As opposed to immediately being like, I'm just going to fucking kill him. I never really liked him. He's just my best friend, funded all my research. I've known him for 40 years. I don't really like him. I'm going to kill him. So bad.
Gotta tell you, Tony, when you become a vampire...
Are you going to kill me right away?
Right.
Wow.
You're going to turn into a vampire and I'm going to be like, oh shit. And I'll turn around and you think I'm crying, but really I'm like taking this pencil and I'm like.
This is the very first time that I tell you you're going to kill me.
I'm going to turn around
son of a bitch.
And you're going to be like, I was kidding. It's a Halloween costume. You killed me. I'd be like, shit. I'm like, oh man. And then
and then you put my body in some acid, melt me down, and then no one will ever know.
No, I'd frame my wife.
Poor Shannon. You're taking us all down, Dan.
I'm like, Shannon, why did you kill Tony? And she's like, I was jealous of Tony. Tony got all your time. I'd be like, that's true. I love Tony.
That all checks out. Thanks for telling me,
that's
Shannon.
Horrible. That's just horrible.
Well, here's
Tony.
the thing, Dan. I'm going to tell you right now.
Why is she confessing to the killing? I did it.
I don't know.
I'd have to trick her into thinking she did it. So I'd prop you up.
Oh, great. Yeah.
And then she'd walk in the door and then you'd fall on her, and then he'd be dead. Yeah.
So you're carrying her around. Let's just think about this for a second. I'm 300 pounds, Dan. You're telling me you're going to carry me around your house, prop me up against the door, and have me fall on your wife? First of all, she's dead. All right. She died in this fall because I crushed her. Oh my God. Well, you know what? Here's the thing, Dan. I'll tell you right now that I will try to save you. All right. I'll let you kill as many people as you want, and I will try to save you. Because you're more important than the rest of the people. All right. Save the one, not the many.
Kill Tony because it's funny.
Because it's funny. It's not even to save the world. I don't even. Are you gonna kill people? I don't care.
For a laugh. For one good laugh. I might get a good laugh out of it.
Not just you. A couple people might enjoy it. I don't know. You never know.
Tony's got a lot of enemies. A lot of enemies. So he reads the whole city, and then I wrote down there's a nice flying scene. There's a nice scene where he flies around. And I like
but
it.
I mean, it's fine. I don't understand how he's doing it because he needed a train before. I don't know.
Purple power. Now he's doing purple.
Purple power. Yeah. Yeah,
so,
you're right.
So he finds her. She's dying now. They make out, and then he eats her. She's like, "Oh, feel free to eat me."
Just the lack of emotion when she's like, "Make it mean something," and he's like, "Okay, cool," and then just tears her throat out. What is happening? This guy is killing all of the people he loves without hesitation. Does not care at all.
I'd feast on you, Tony. I'd feast so hard.
So now you're the vampire and you're still killing me? In both scenarios, you murder me. That's unbelievable, Dan.
Then I frame Shannon for it.
I don't know. She tore his throat out. I don't know.
I was standing there. I'm like, what are you doing? It's like, sir, you have blood all over your mouth. Yeah, because I kissed her because I love her.
She's my wife. What am I going to do? Oh, God.
Okay, so then they fight, and then he's like summons bats and makes a big bat storm. Attacks him with the bat storm and then just kills him instantaneously.
Hold on. Attacks him with the bat storm. We have to explain that a little better because all of a sudden he can force push bats like he's Luke fucking Skywalker.
And fly in the midst of them. You know, it's like Bat Tornado. They should call him more Bat-Tato Man.
Bat-Tato. No, I like Bat-Tato. That's good. His powers don't make a lick of sense in this movie. I don't understand anything.
More important.
But then he just staffs him.
He just stabbed him. At no point in any of these things did he have a setback. He made the murder thing, figured out where he was, went there, summoned bats, wasn't beat at all. Matt Smith was never on the edge of killing him. Never even close. Never even, not even like a mile, within a mile of killing him, and he just murders him. Just like, murder!
Yeah, no, it's, oh boy, just ridiculous. In most, I would say 99.9% of superhero movies, in the last fight, the hero gets beat up. You know what I mean? Like he's on the brink of losing and then pulls through and we cheer. No, this guy just like had the upper hand pretty much the whole time.
Doesn't knock away the poison, doesn't have to work hard to get the poison. No, it just like reaches into his pocket, poison, death.
And it's like, oh, you got me. Wow. Unbelievable.
And then so Milo's dying and he's like, you can't kill me. It's me. You gave me my name. So he was happy that he changed his name.
Being the wrong person. Yep. It doesn't make any sense, Dan.
And then Morbius apologizes and actually calls him Lucian. So he is now admitting that was a dick move to change to call him
I guess
Milo?
so. I guess he's like, hey, you know what? My bad. You are a real person. I should have seen it 40 years ago. I don't know. This is stupid.
Police show up. We cut to Martine. She opens her eyes. She's a vampire. And Morbius flies away with the bats.
Yeah, what a lackluster ending, huh?
So you're telling me Martine is going to be the villain in Morbius 2? That's what you've set up?
First of all, Listen, Dan, I know we're gonna maybe, but like Lady Vampires, I'm all on board. So give me Morbius 2 right now.
Now I'm going to say the end credit music, loved it.
Not only that, but I like the credits. They're like they're neon, and then I'm like,
Cool.
oh, cool. It's like an 80s vibe. Where was that in the movie?
I don't know.
What the hell?
Where was
The credits?
Where was the cool ladies vibe? Where was there any horror? Where was any body horror?
Yeah. No,
it's like, give us some body horror. Have him go to that cave by himself, go in there himself, has to capture the bats. The bats are feasting on him. He's like dying and he has to do a thing. You're like, oh my God, they drag his desiccated body out of. Do something!
Yeah, do something. That should be the marketing campaign for Morbius 2. Hey guys, do something. Great stuff. This is great stuff.
So then I watched the first of the bonus scenes, which was
Okay.
the Vulture gets multiversed into a cell, and then they let him go.
Right. Okay. So first of all, let's talk about that for a minute, Dan.
Yeah.
How did he get multiversed in? Explain it to me. Explain to me the magic of this.
Well, it's from Doctor Strange. So Doctor Strange, he got.
Is it from Doctor Strange? Because he says it's from Spider-Man.
What does that mean?
That's a great fucking question. What does that mean? And I'm assuming it's because he can't name Doctor Strange because this isn't technically the MCU.
It is the MCU because they have the Marvel thing on the front and they collaborated on it. Yeah, so it's
they collabed on it, but we're definitely in a separate universe because it gets multiversed in. So I don't know.
But I mean, this is all part of what happened in Spider-Man. Somebody's going home.
Yes, and that's the problem, Dan. Let's talk about it. This is why it comes back.
Like I said, I didn't watch the others. I watched some of the other Spider-Man movie, and I was like, it's not for me. So
I needed you to finish it because the end is a real problem for me. So
is the whole idea? Is your whole point going to be that in that other movie Doctor Strange used his magic to find all the villains, so there can't be a bonus villain? Is that the point you're going to make?
No, here's the point, Dan. Is that the spell that he ends up using in the movie, right, makes everybody go back to where they came from. So they come out from different points of the universe. Anyone who knows Peter Parker comes out and is like, hey, yeah, I'm in your universe now. That's
what happened. That's why the Vulture's in the cell.
Right. Yeah. No, not this cell, because this is not where he came from. Hold on. So then, so the whole point of Spider-Man No Way Home is that they fix the villains and then they send them back to where they came from. That's the whole point of it. Vulture did not come from here. He came from some different cell. How is he the only one displaced? Are we not going to deal with more people being displaced then? Because now it seems one person being displaced doesn't seem to make any sense.
But wait a second. Hold on. The Vulture is a villain in the Tom Holland Spider-Man universe.
Correct. Yes.
Maybe Morbius is in a different universe, multiverse.
He's in the Andrew Garfield universe, I'm pretty sure, technically.
Yeah, so he got thrown out of the Tom Holland universe into the...
But how? That had nothing to do with the spell. So this is why I'm upset, because are you telling me only one person got mistakenly misplaced? That can't be right. So now there's got to be hundreds to thousands of people that are in different universes than when they started. That's what you just set up for me, and we're not going to deal with that at all. It's just bad. It's just bad writing, and no one's explaining the magic, and I hate it. I'm just so upset by it.
And then what is the second bonus scene?
Okay, the second bonus scene is incredible, and you need to watch it.
I'll watch it.
But it's Morbius driving along. Boop, 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 boop.
What? Driving in a car?
Yeah, he's driving in like a fancy car because now he's a rich doctor, you know?
How does he have a fancy car?
Well, he probably inherited all of Milo's money when Milo died because he was next of kin.
Milo was dumb enough to do that.
I don't know. So anyhow, so he gets out of the car. He's at like some random point, and then Vulture flies up, and he's all Vulture gear, and he's like, "Hey, I'm paraphrasing. Hey, I'm Vulture. I don't know how I got here. Probably Spider-Man, but you and me should team up." That's about exactly what he fucking says. And it's just Keaton reading a fucking script at home on a mic, just like I'm doing right now. It is terrible acting. And then Morbius is like, cool, yeah, let's team up.
What?
Lots of questions. Exactly.
What
the fuck is happening? Well, because they want to make a Sinister Six movie.
Who's in the Sinister Six? Vulture.
Well, I don't think Morbius is in it, but Kraven the Hunter, Vulture, Rhino. Is Venom in it? Venom might be in it. I don't know.
Oh, so the idea is the next movie's going to be all villains? But Morbius isn't a villain.
That is exactly right, Dan.
I don't understand.
Why is Morbius agreeing to meet up? Why is he like, yeah, cool, let's do some bad stuff, even though I just spent an entire movie trying to be the anti-hero? I don't know, man. It doesn't make any sense. It's so stupid.
I mean, I think a lot of times in the Morbius comics, and I don't have that first Morbius comic that I had when I was a kid, which is stupid because it's very expensive now.
That is unfortunate.
But I think he fights like a cult of Satanists or something. And that's what Morbius does is
yep.
he falls, he would end up fighting the Vulture and the Sinister Six because, they try to blackmail him or they try to do something to him.
For sure. Yeah.
He's never going to say, yes, I want to team up with a villain.
He did immediately.
Yeah,
without thinking about it, he was just like, yeah, cool. That sounds great. Let's do it. Awful. Just some of the worst writing.
Now, here's the thing I don't understand.
All right, talk to me.
Vulture in the Tom Holland Spider-Man universe.
Right.
Isn't that a Sony movie?
Correct.
Why don't they just... why does Vulture have the Multiverse of Madness?
Well, no, because he's in the MC... Because Sony gave Spider-Man to Marvel for a while, right? And then it kind of went back, right?
They just let him borrow him, but the Sony Spider-Man universe is the Vulture.
Well, no. So the Sony Spider-Man universe, I'm pretty sure, is the Andrew Garfield stuff. Right?
No. Wait, what did we just watch? Isn't that a Sony movie?
No. The Spider-Man No Way Home or Morbius?
They're both Sony, aren't they?
No. Spider-Man No Way Home is technically Marvel with a Sony cooperation or whatever they say. But it's a Marvel movie. And this is technically a Sony movie with Marvel collaboration. Does that make sense?
So you're saying that Garfield is still the official Spider-Man in the Venom Morbius universe?
I believe so, yes.
Oh.
But they haven't confirmed that necessarily.
So the implication is that's what they're trying to imply in this.
I sure hope so. And I hope that in the Sinister Six, he makes an appearance because he, again, was the best part of No Way Home.
Yeah, I'm a big Garfield fan. Well, this movie was just weird and stupid.
It's just dumb. It's just dumb and messy, and don't watch it.
Anything else to say about it, Tony?
I probably a lot, but I'll rest. I'll rest my case. Gavel.
So now's the point of the show where we talk about something we liked. I believe I talked about Made for Love last week.
Yeah.
I'm bringing it up again because
I love it. Good.
I'm talking about the soundtrack. The soundtrack is amazing. The songs are amazing. The actual soundtrack done by Kifis Ciencia. Incredible. I've been listening to it. I don't listen to a lot of soundtracks. It's amazing. He also had done the soundtracks to True Detective 1 and 2.
Ooh. The first season of True Detective was really, really good.
This guy's, he is the bomb.
Okay, good for him.
This is a soundtrack you want to listen to. And also the songs in it are amazing too. I'm only up to episode 3 because I'm sort of savoring it. And it's by far one of the most interesting shows I've seen in a long time.
Yeah. It's definitely that.
It's right up there with Severance and shows like that.
I still haven't finished that. Ugh.
Severance. What do you got for us, Tony?
I'll be honest. This week felt like an embarrassment of riches.
Oh,
so much stuff came out, so I'm going to spread it out, and I'm going to pick one this week, one next week, and one the following week.
Is this a different burrito?
No, because I'm still eating the Cheese-Doritos, guys. If you don't remember, it's cheese roll-up, add the pizza sauce, and then chives. It's great. A show that we've really been enjoying on Peacock called The Courtship wrapped up its season run this week. Oh. It's a dating show, except for they go back to the Victorian era London and do like, it's basically like a Pride and Prejudice or a Bridgerton, but in a dating show. So they all dress up in gear and they go to balls, and anyhow, ridiculous show, but just a ton of fun. We had a blast. It's great. It's great. Mindless TV, as they say. But it's very fun. Very fun. Good job, Peacocks.
So next week we're doing it. We're doing the movie everybody's been talking about.
Oh.
Harry Potter presents the Fantastical Beasts.
Oh, God.
Presents the crimes of the secret chamber of the army of the Dumbledorians.
Now, just to be clear, are we 2 and 3? Is that what you're saying?
Part 3.
Part 3. All right.
Coming out on HBO Max in 2 days.
Oh, my God.
It's ready to rock and roll.
I'm going to watch all 3 just to like really get back into it. 2 is the worst movie I've ever seen, I think.
I am not going to watch all 3. I liked the first one. I liked it a lot.
1 is very fun. 1 is great. It's just like lighthearted fun. It's great. Yeah. 2 is awful. And I cannot wait for 3. I'm so excited about this.
Not starring Johnny Depp. So we got that going for us.
I mean, will anything ever again? I don't know.
I think Shannon and I argued about this. I think he's going to be back, and I don't think there's going to be a problem.
Interesting. And I don't want to take sides. I don't want to say anything too much about the trial because I think basically it's 2 shitty people that did shitty things to each other. It's just embarrassing to me. Like, both of them have torpedoed their own careers at this point.
So hard.
And maybe they will come back. I don't know, but it's I don't know if I'll care.
I think they both blew up their careers, but I think his stature and the truth of the matter is, if she somehow proves something on him, maybe. But I don't think she's going to be able to prove anything on him.
I don't think either of them can prove anything at this point. It's just like, it's all hearsay because it was a volatile relationship and you're both terrible to each other. And now you're both complaining about it. And it's just like, I don't know. Good luck.
Did you watch any of the trial?
We watched like a couple of clips, but I can't handle it.
I've watched a fair amount not a fair amount, but I've watched a number of the clips.
Yeah.
And man, that last time when he went on this, I was like, oh man, she's dead, and then he went on the stand and you're just like, oh yeah, no, nobody gets out of this alive. I think he still have a career because he's Johnny Depp and he could work in Europe and do all these kind of things.
Sure. Yeah.
It's like all those terrible Bruce Willis movies. He's going to be able to still kind of do all that stuff.
First of all, those are great Bruce Willis movies. And I just want to point out again that he had a duology with Chad Michael Murray, and it's fucking great, you guys.
Geezer teasers, they're called.
That's how they're called. I think I enjoy that as a genre. I'm pretty sure.
Well, what they had in like the late 60s is they had all these movies where like Bette Davis and all the old film stars came and did horror movies.
Oh, yeah.
And
that sounds great.
They had some terrible name for them, which I can't think of right now, but it was like Geezer Teasers. It was just like that. And so I think that's sort of what that's like, but whatever.
I'll have to find that.
So we're doing what might possibly be the final Harry Potter movie. I mean, I'm sure they're going to reboot the whole thing and figure out other ways to deal with the universe at some point.
Maybe. But I'm still hoping for a Cursed Child movie. I know that I'm not supposed to hope for anything Harry Potter because she's bad, whatever. But I liked Cursed Child. I would watch a movie of that.
Tony being a terrible person for wishing for that, and we're terrible people for watching this movie.
Can I just wish that they cut her out of all of it, but that Harry Potter can still go? I don't know. I don't know the rules.
Well, at some point, yeah, that like Marvel or someone is going to own it. She'll probably just sell the whole thing, and
I mean, it's just so sad that one single person can tear down like an entire no, she's important to it, but she's just so shitty. Like, why can't we just get rid of her?
Because she owns it, and she's going to continue to put herself in the center of it until she chooses to not put herself in the center of it.
She should make that choice now.
She still puts her fingerprints on these movies, right?
I think, and that's mostly the problem. I'm just going to guess because I think she like wrote the script, right? Which is awful. The scripts are terrible.
She's a terrible writer.
Oh boy, oh boy. Oh well. Anyhow,
So that's Morbius. It's Morbin time.
one thing I want to throw out here before we wrap up: we are 2 episodes away
from 100.
2 episodes away from our monocentennial. And I'm very excited, guys.
So you're picking the movie for 100? Is that what you're saying?
I'm picking the movie, unless we want to do like a joint pick that's like an extra special, know. But I want to make sure that's a monocentennial. I think that would be good.
Maybe we should do like maybe 101 should be our clip show.
Okay, our 100th wrap up.
Yeah, maybe 101 would be like our tribute to ourselves.
So, I love it. That sounds exactly like something I would do. So that's good. Tribute
to ourselves, because I do want to go through and pull a bunch of clips from different shows.
Please do.
Maybe I'll do
send me over the time codes. I'll put together some fun stuff.
Okay,
it'll be good.
Well, it's been fun. If you like what you see, leave us a comment, leave us a subscription, or leave us thumbs, positive thumbs, no negative thumbs. We've been doing pretty good. We haven't gotten any negative thumbs in a while. We do get them occasionally.
Sure. Those are the people that come over from my YouTube and are like, nope, fuck this guy. We got to get rid of him.
No, those are the people that randomly stumble on it and we're making fun of Jack the Giant Killer, and that's their whole childhood.
That's their best. That's the best movie I've ever seen. I love it.
So, that's the end of the show. So, thanks for coming by.
We'll see you for Fantastic Beasts. Goodbye, everybody.
Beast mode.